I like my beat down low, down low, down low, down low. I let my top let. I like my beat down low and my top laid back. Got a 24 and a chopper in the back. I like my beat. Shout out to the A. Brian Norman calls out none other than Jaron Boots Ennis. I like my beat down low, down low, down low. Teofimo Lopez. Atlanta, y'all got one. So basically, Brian Norman is back and he has a message. Let me restart this video for y'all. And you see, I made this graphic. Make sure you follow me on social media. The link is in the description. Brian Norman Jr., he calls out Jaron Ennis and Teofimo Lopez. He expects a big 2025. Roll the clip.
It's real short and sweet with y'all boys out there. I see y'all trying to make noise or whatever, and everybody trying to keep me out the loop. So I just want to be known. I've been quiet for too long. I understand. I'm slipping on my pimping. But now it's time to snap back right and get back right. You feel me? So 2025 is my year. I got me a whole hit list marked down. I can see the target. But I'm starting off with that boy Boots out there in Philly. I'm finna go ahead and get that done with. I gotta make that happen before he move up to 154. After that, I see T.O. Hill playing games. He'll think about going up to 147. If you think about doing it, I'm right here. If you want to fight at 140, we both WBO. I could down to 140 with you. Trust me, it's not a problem at all. And that's also for all the other 140-pound champions. Anybody can get it for real. I just want to let that be known. Like I said, I've been quiet for too long. That's my mistake. But I'm tightening up, and now it's time to take over this whole boxing game. You dig? So, I'm going to keep this real short and sweet with y'all boys out there. I see y'all.
You dig? So that was Brian Norman. He said T.O. can get it. Now, the interesting thing he said about Teofimo was that the fight could occur. He said, you want to come up to 147? Okay, say Jet. I said, you can have whatever you like. He got that southern draw, that ATL, you know what I mean? Welcome to the A. Welcome to Atlanta, Jack and Hammers and Voes. Back to the Mac and the Jack and the clothes. Adolescent packing a foe. I knock on the door. Who is it? So he got that, you know, that ATL swag. And he said, T.O. can get it at 47. Or you can get it at 140, wherever you comfortable. So I didn't know personally that he can make 140 because, you know, he looked like he got some good size. I've seen him next to Errol Spence. We know that he sparred infamously Terrence Crawford. So that's news to me that he said I could make 140 and it's no thing, it's no issue. I didn't personally know that. So that was pretty interesting. Let me take these headphones off for you. Really get into this. Make sure you guys subscribe. I'm the best in boxing. And it's not even close. Again, there's a lot of low quality content available online in the boxing space. But your boy Ego, I don't just talk about it. I show you. You know, there's a lot of people that master in the clickbait. And, you know, the title don't really match the video. They'll say someone said this, but then when you research it, you can't find records of the person saying that. I'm showing you. This is Brian Norman. I'm showing you the video, and he's calling out these people. As far as a fight with Boots, now, this fight was in demand earlier this year. It looked like there was some kind of dealings from Brian Norman's side and Jaron Ennis's team and Eddie Hearn with Rematch Room. However, that didn't really get anywhere because the fight kind of fizzled out over money. And I tell you guys all the time that money is money. That is kind of one of the first things that needs to be discerned, and one of the first things that if you get past that, some of the other like deal points become easier. But people want to get paid, and you can't really doubt that. Like, the reason behind it is these fighters are risking their lives. They're risking their lives for our entertainment and for sport and for combat and the competition. So at the end of the day, you know, they deserve to get paid. So I'm not mad at this call out from Brian Norman Jr. I like my top lit back. I'm sorry, I got that T.I. in my head. Pause. But hey, T.I., y'all sleep on T.I. first albums. T.I.'s first, his first couple albums. King, Urban Legend, and then the one Rubber Band Man one, Trap Music. Actually, he had some Paper. I think it was called Paper Trail. That was hard too. Yeah. Hey, y'all sleep. T.I. had a run. Y'all hating. Y'all. Hold on. What the heck? Yeah, T.I. had a bit of a run. Back to Brian Norman. So you see him getting it in. Pause. He's coming off injury. It looks like his fight that was scheduled for the Keyshawn card in Norfolk, Virginia, is likely to be rescheduled. So although he's calling these people out, I don't expect the fights to actually happen next. But maybe in the future. Maybe this is something in the future. As I was saying, the fight with Boots fell apart over money. And listen, again, a lot of low-quality content available in this space. You could take my word for it, someone who's been there, done that, been in the game double-digit years, or not. The pay's still the same. People try to give flack to Brian Norman and his dad, and if you understand the business, it makes perfect sense to me, being in the business, what they were saying. You want us to cross to another promoter, right? Because you have to understand, if you're fighting on another promoter's card, they don't really want you to win. You're not the guy that they're vested and invested in. So there's no vested interest for you to do well. So you're really brought in there to lose. So you're not getting the lion's share of money. And then you're on the network platform and on a promoter's card, the lead promoter really doesn't want you to win. So you got to deal with politics, potentially if it's a close fight, if you get knocked down and then come back and then outbox the person, are the judges going to have some crazy wonky scorecards, et cetera, et cetera? And some of you guys are selfish boxing fans. So you're like, I don't care about that. I don't care about money. You're really dealing with people who have never made $100K in a year that are boxing fans talking about multi-million-dollar businesses and what the fighter's worth and what they're not. You haven't even made $100K annually yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, chill. You don't know at this level what that entails, because these fighters got sparring partners. It's a big fight. They got to get their nutrition right. Some people need to get away. Like he from Atlanta. Maybe you don't want to train in Atlanta because too many distractions. So he might have to go to Big Bear or Vegas or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole undertaking for these fights. And the bottom line is, you guys do and say things when it's convenient. Y'all say Turkey is saving boxing and he got all the money in the world. Eddie Hearn kind of works with Turkey, but then they can't pay Norman what he wants, which was pretty close to what he was offered. He just wanted a little bit more to get the Jaron Boots in his fight. I am so curious who Boots is even going to fight, because from interviews, they're saying he wants unifications, but the unifications look a bit difficult to achieve for different reasons. And I already went over that. Check those videos, right? Teofimo, I don't believe that fight will happen for Boots next. He already turned down the Virgil Ortiz option because he's not moving up. So, I mean, who are you going to fight? This is one of the unifications. This is a guy calling you out. Again, people are trying to confuse the story. They're saying that Brian Norman is calling him out, but he ducked. Again, people are just flinging words around like ducked. How did he duck? Because the negotiations didn't work and they couldn't come to terms. Like, what are we talking about? To be honest, and a lot of it is the Boots fans. So what is more of a duck? Never agreeing on money to the point where a deal was never even like agreed upon? Or Boots, according to Turkey said that Boots gave us his word and agreed to fight Virgil Ortiz, and then he changed his mind. So it's funny to hear Boots fans, and I'm a fan of Boots. I've always been a fan of Boots, but I call it like I see. And it's funny to hear primarily Boots fans, like diehard fans, who are saying Brian Norman ducked But the reality is, if you look at the tape and listen to everything, they never really agreed on the finances. So how is it a duck when you never even came to terms and never like fully were on board with the money that was being offered? Meanwhile, the same player, Boots, according to his own side, Turkey, who's in charge of the money with Riyadh season, said he gave us his word he was going to fight Virgil Ortiz, and then he backed out. And we seen various reports stating the same, that there was a verbal agreement and it fizzled out because of Boots' side, and he's not ready to move up to 54, which, again, that's cool if you're not ready for 54, but you said in your last fight that it's about that time that you move up. You talked about fighting Crawford at 54. You talked about fighting Charles Conwell at 54, you know, and why even agree to it with the Virgil Ortiz fight if you didn't want to move up? You could have said that from jump and saved everybody the hassle. So that's the reality of it. I don't know that this fight will happen because I think Riyadh season, they're slimming up with the purses and trying to get more in line and bring really the fights back to Saudi Arabia. So I don't know what their budget consists of, especially for a quote-unquote outsider. However, Top Rank, their ESPN contract is expiring. So if Top Rank goes to DAZN, maybe it makes that fight easier to make. And I don't know what Top Rank's next plan is. So stay tuned to this space. Brian Norman did call out Boots, Teofimo. That's my opinion on both.